Hey there folks, it's John with Not Work Tabletop, and I'm going to say a big hello to everyone who's joined recently with 33 subscribers. That's frankly amazing. And this was meant to be a battle report that I was putting together the other day, and unfortunately, as I was going through it, I discovered, and I had discovered some of this while shooting, I discovered that the sound for the voiceover on the battle report had actually cut out a lot earlier than I thought it had. And when I came to try and edit it, I have been trying to do a new voiceover for some of the rounds, but I couldn't remember everything that I was talking about in the moment. So I'm afraid that battle report is probably not coming. It was a Warhammer 40,000 second edition battle report. And yeah, it's functionally dead. Unfortunate. But we will have more coming, I am sure. We're going to do some records and other bits and pieces probably next week. But I decided that given it was the 11th and it's been a few days since I put anything out, and the last thing I put out was just a couple of shorts, I would sort of jump back into stuff. Now we've got... Anyone's paid attention to the shorts, you may have spotted that I managed to acquire the Emperor's Children Release Army box for the slow grow that's happening. September is now the penciled in date at Worcester Wargames. We're doing a slow grow for Warhammer 40,000 11th edition, so people who are new can come and sort of get used to it, and also people who are starting new armies, like I'm going to be doing, can also have a little bit of an ease in, and we can play around with a couple of concepts and ideas and do some other stuff, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I opted for, again, as you may have guessed from the thing that's on the screen from the short I did recently and the fact that I've just said it, I chose Emperor's Children. If you're familiar with my Heresy stuff, which is currently still all on the other channel, and I might look at bringing some of that across into this channel as well, then you will know that I play 3rd Legion in Heresy. We play Heresy 2nd Edition still with some house rules, and I really do love my 3rd Legion. I've loved my 3rd Legion forever. I still want a Fulgrim Ascended model from the Heresy stuff, from the old the Forge World stuff, but I don't have that just at the moment. But I did treat myself to almost an early birthday present, plus I've kind of missed out on a few things this year. And so I decided I was going to go Emperor's Children. So we've acquired the Emperor's Children box, and we acquired Fulgrim. That's what I bought. I bought Emperor's Children and I bought Fulgrim to have as a Primarch on 40k. I don't normally do a lot of special characters for Warhammer 40,000, but in the last 2 editions now, 10th and 11th, I've gone more that way, with my Court of the Young King having obviously all the Phoenix Lords for the Elder, and now I've got Emperor's Children being led by the Demon Primarch Fulgrim, or they eventually will be. So I thought I would throw open the lists as I've put them together, and I've got a couple of sort of developing lists as we go into the slow grow, and I believe the slow grow is to be up to a full 2,000 points. We are starting at 500. So we do have the Games Workshop store page open here to just have a look at the Emperor's Children options and models. However, we are going to have a look at the list, and we are going to try and do some interesting things with this Emperor's Children list. I'm not trying to go meta with everything. I'm not really interested in playing the full-on Emperor's Children meta, although there's not a huge amount of unit options. As we can see, I kind of want to throw a few bits and pieces in and make the list still feel like it's an army rather than like it's, strictly speaking, just a puzzle that is being solved. And I'm going to throw some things out for you guys to maybe try and offer some insight and advice. Before we get too deep into this, though, we will have more battle reports coming. We will have more of a look into the Conflict 47 stuff that's going in that everyone really seems to be enjoying. That seems to be becoming more meat and bones. I do have some Battletech ideas that have been mentioned before, but let's have a look at what we're doing for the slow grow. So we have the Song Discordia, as my army's list. Their list is named, and it's flicked open. There we go. So we can see we have a Lord Exultant, which is my going to be my general. I have 10 Infractors as a unit of 10. Lord Exultant is going to be with them. He's going to be leading that unit. And I really kind of want to get the most out of the lethal hits that he's giving. So I felt that having the full unit is the way to go there to really get the benefit of the lethal hits he gives to the unit, and also acts as a delivery mechanism for the Lord Exultant himself. I want to get that charge off so I can get Lance with the Phoenix Power Spear, and do some fun stuff there, because the Phoenix Power Spear is quite a nice weapon. We have 5 Tormentors, sticky objective and shooting. Not a lot of really good shooting, but the Tormentors are carrying one of each of the special weapons. I'm not sure if I've done it on this list, because I'm using a different program to actually play with and print my lists from. But this is New Recruit that I'm using for the purposes of viewing things on here. And so what can I say about this? Well, what we've got, as I say, is Lord Exultant with these Euphoric Crown. Infractors to give him the delivery mechanism, as I say, and make the most of his lethal hits. And the Infractors are obviously going in with the Power Sword, the Dueling Sabres. There's going to be a lot of attacks going in, hopefully getting lethals, which would be quite nice. And then we have the 5 Tormentors. It's all bolt guns here, but the actual list will have plasma gun and multi gun in the 5 Tormentors to give them a range of interesting firepower. And finally, we have the unit of Noise Marines, because Noise Marines for me are always going to be the heart of a 40k Emperor's Children force. They're absolutely going to be the heart of my force here. And we do have Sonic Blasters all round, and we have Blastmasters, as you can see. This is correctly arranged. And the reason I haven't given the Disharmonist the Power Sword Screamer Pistol is because I want that extra 6 inches of shooting. The Noise Marines, I am not intending to be going into close combat. Now, I know we don't get to decide that hugely, but I'd rather have my option to keep the entire unit 18 inches away and just pump Sonic Blaster shots in at 3 shots apiece into a target, rather than basically dropping 3 shots to try and give myself a little bit of close combat efficiency. Yeah, I know once we're in 12, he does exactly the same thing then as a Sonic Blaster, and he has the Power Sword. But I want that 6 inches to play with, so that's how my Noise Marines are going to be going kitted. And that's it for 500 points. Thoughts and suggestions at this point would be absolutely fantastic as we look at the 500 point force. But as we come off the 500 points, we are going to now go into Song Discordia Part 2. So this is going to be done in 250 point leaps, I think is how we're doing it. Details are still being sorted out by Andy at Worcester Wargames, but that's how I think we are going to be going up points, is in leaps like that. So here we go. We're just going to have a look at this roster. I'm just going to do it in pretty. So we go up to from 500 to 750. We can only really get it to 710, unfortunately. Nothing to spend 40 points on in the list. We still have the Lord Exultant. We still have the 10 Infractors. We have doubled the Tormentors and doubled the Noise Marines. I should have mentioned that we are. I don't know if we're going to be having 2 detachment points at 500 or 2 detachment points at 750, or if we are going to wait until we hit the full 1,000. Currently, this is still Frenzied Host. If it is 2 detachment points, it may go Court of the Phoenician. Just because Carnival, I don't have the models in for Carnival. I think I can do the models for Carnival. I do have some demons kicking around, some demonettes. But we are currently assuming either Frenzied Host or Court of the Phoenician for 1 or 2 detachment points. And Court of the Phoenician is because Fulgrim's eventually coming in, and its basic as other abilities isn't too bad. So Lord Exultant, same enhancements. The 10 Infractors are still with him. We have 2 units of 5 Tormentors. I'm doing 2 sets of 5 so because they infiltrate and they can sticky. Objective desecrated. And it just seems a better way of playing them rather than having them moshed together as one big unit, because one big unit can be easily removed, where they would have to split fire to get the 2 different units, and I can take and stick twice the objectives early on with the Tormentors. And we've doubled the number of Noise Marines, and the Noise Marines are identical for each unit. That's exactly how we're playing with them. I've got to wave my hands around a lot, down the camera on me. But that's how we are going to be playing with our Noise Marines, is we're going to have 2 units of those just backing up the front line, and I intend to absolutely try and slap with that. We had obviously with the Frantic Focused as well, which is the Frenzied Host thing, and that means we can do an awful lot of advancing and falling back. And if we get the option to shoot or advance while we're doing that, then we can we can make advantage of the court. I think our Thrill Seekers gives us the advance. Yep, we can shoot and alternate advances, so we can advance and fall back. So we can do a lot of movement. We can put a lot of damage on target. Everything's going up at a point of strength. It's not bad. In fact, I saw somebody doing a joke list, apparently, or like not really a joke list, but they were given a suboptimal list to play with some options, and they had a lot of tormentors, and they did quite well with that, which was quite nice to see outside of what's there. So this is the 750 point list for 710 points. That's what that looks like. We're gonna drop back one, and then we get up to part 3, which is the 1,000 points. And you can see just here we've gone to Court of the Phoenician. And if we export it into Pretty, we can have a bit of a look. And here we go. We now have Fulgrim. Fulgrim into this. This does mean we have sacrificed 5 Tormentors, possibly literally, to fit Fulgrim in to the list. And that brings us in at 975 points. But we now have Fulgrim. And yeah, I know Fulgrim's not the best Demon Primarch, but I've got to have Fulgrim. It's kind of fun. I love the idea he's shown up randomly, and he's going to be stomping around at this 1,000 point juncture, and he might do a lot of damage at 1,000 points. Or he might run into something equally grim with himself. We still have the Lord Exultant, and the Lord Exultant is now carrying Tears of the Phoenix, which gives us ignore modifiers to weapon skill, modifiers to hit, modifiers to wound, which is quite nice, I think. I actually quite wanted to take the battle shock enhancement, and I might yet, but just to try and get it as close to 1,000 as I could, I gave him the Tears of the Phoenix. I might give him the battle shock thing. So I was looking at putting a sorcerer in, but Tears of the Phoenix gets me down to 950. If I take that off, there's nowhere to really put anything else in for 50 points. And the 50 points is where we get to. But we do have the 2 units of Noise Marines, the unit of Infractors, the Tormentors, the Exultant. All that's still the same. We're still playing the same thing. But we now have Fulgrim zipping around the table. And of course, Fulgrim benefits immediately from Court of the Phoenician, because we can use that thing to give him a cheaper stratagems, which is nice. And that's where we will be going with that one. Of course, by then I'll hopefully have Fulgrim painted. We have started painting the guys up. We have a nice deep, rich sort of purple to pink tone. And we have got some, at the moment, some sort of teal and blue arm pads, weapons, rippling colours thing going on. That I'm kind of trying to make work. I kind of like it where it is, but there's a bit of obviously details on the models that need sorting out, and you can have a look at those when I post the video and photos for the Emperor's Children going on with. So that's part 3. Now part 4 gets us up to 1245, and this is where I'm running out of steam a little bit, because it's all the same stuff again. I intend to acquire a Lord Cacophonist for doing this part of the list. I already own the Mauler Fiend, and I really want to put the Mauler Fiend in, because I think Mauler Fiends are cool. And this is now the extent of the army box. Fulgrim, I'm going to have to get a Cacophonist. I own the Mauler Fiend, but this is now everything that I've got. With one possible exception, I do have a test model that could probably sub in as a Lord Exultant as well, if I really need him to. This gets me to 1245. It's still Fulgrim. It's still the Tears of the Phoenix. It's Lord Cacophonist coming in, and to be fair, I could probably drop the Tears of the Phoenix down and take 2 of the 15-point enhancements instead. But there's nothing currently on the Cacophonist. He is just as he is, and he's going to sit in one of those Noise Marine units for that sustained hits ability, because that is nice. Now I know the Cacophonist is carrying Screamer Pistol and Power Sword, so as soon as the Lord Cacophonist is in there, he's going to want to be slightly closer to the enemy, which is what I was trying to avoid. But he's not really there for the pistol and the sword. He's there for the sustained hits, and he's there for the Doom Siren. And that is what I want him for, is that that potential mortal wounds into a target. Now, if someone gets close and he can use the Screamer Pistol and Power Sword, fantastic. He's adding more to it, but I quite like that that's what he's doing. And to be fair, at that point, he's kind of replacing the Sergeant anyway. So I still feel I'm better off taking the Sonic Blasters for that 6 inches of range. And, of course, we have the Mauler Fiend. Who on this one has Lasher Tendrils. So I was going to give them Magna Cutters, but the model has Lasher Tendrils. And I think I'm getting a little bit more bang for my buck with the Lasher Tendrils, because I just want him running into combat anyway. And I don't feel the two melter shots are... I mean, it's nice for taking out big stuff, and I can take them for taking out big stuff. I might get a second one and build it with them on. But I like the idea that this can go into some moderately heavy infantry and really give them a bad day. And 6 strength 7s is probably going to ruin someone's day as extra attacks as well, on top of the 6 strength 14s. So I thought Lasher Tendrils probably slightly better. I don't know, let me know what you think. For all of this, let me know what you think. I haven't looked massively into some of the objectives and stuff. I don't know the game that well yet. That's why I'm playing a slow grow. And we'll be playing a couple of games probably between now and when the slow grow starts. But this is the end of it as we get up to 1250. I'm not sure where I want to take it now for 1500, 1750, and 2000, because there's going to be 3 more stages to go. So we're probably going to be playing 250 points a week, I think. So this is probably going to be like a 6-week thing. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly where to expand on from there. I could get more Lord Exultants and more Lord Cacophonists to fill things out. I don't particularly want to take Lucius. I know he's good. Apparently he's really good. But I've already got Fulgrim, and I kind of want to be a bit more sensible. Now, some people might say Rhinos, because Rhinos getting up the field with the guys might not be a bad idea. But I'm sort of feeling with Scout and Infiltrate, especially with the way some of the deployment zones are. Do you really need the Rhino, or is it just keeping them safe against some shooting for a bit? I've got no issue with that, but is it Rhinos? Do I take a second Mauler Fiend? Because I love the Mauler Fiend. There he is. Mauler Fiend. I think this is a great model. I think this is a fantastic mini. I really, really like the Mauler Fiend. And I'm wondering, since a lot of the armies are moving forward anyway, is a second Mauler Fiend throwing itself forward? We're not worrying too much about the shooting. We're going to literally try and get it up table as quickly as possible. Are the Mauler Fiends throwing themselves forward going to be the way? Everyone hates the Helldrake. I appreciate that everyone hates the Helldrake, and it's probably a lot of points for what it does. It's a beautiful model though. Look at that. Looks beautiful. Very, very cool. But I appreciate it's probably not the way to go. Flawless Blades. I'm very tempted to add some. They only come in units of 3. And as much as the Emperor's Children seem to be charge up the table, slice things apart, when you look at what a bunch of their stuff does, is it charge up the table and slice things apart? Or is it, especially if you get +1 strength on advances and stuff, it's like, well, is it advance quickly around the table and shoot things? And then slice stuff apart? Because that's where some of the stuff that makes me feel. I don't particularly want to invest in Greater Demons and start switching up to Carnival if I can avoid it. A Demon Prince, maybe. I might look at getting a Demon Prince. I know I can get one at the moment. I would love to go for the Trifecta and Noise Marines. But what do you think? Is that worth? Is that not worth? Is 3 units of Noise Marines just too much? Especially if they're doing it without Lord Cacophonist, or is it 3 Noise Marines, 3 Lord Cacophonists? But that starts feeling less like an army and more like just playing, modifiers. So yeah, not sure on where to go for this. So what would you do if you're building what I built so far? What would you do if you went to 1500, 1750, and 2000? I mean, do I just acquire some more Tormentors and either have 2 more units of 5 Tormentors or bulk those 2 units of 5 to 10 Chaos Terminators? Chaos Terminators advancing around the table and shooting. Is that worthy an option? I don't think they're as good as they could be. I'm not trying to be meta, but I don't want to be useless. I kind of want to put a Sorcerer in. If I put a Sorcerer in, I definitely need to have a unit of 10 Tormentors because of the shooting attacks basically ignoring cover. Ignoring cover being a big thing this edition. Apparently, it's obviously it's getting rid of a penalty. Ignoring cover could be big and clever, perchance. I don't know. That's why I'm putting it open to you guys. What do you think? Put some comments down below. Give me some list suggestions on where to go with it. And yeah, I will let you know how it goes. I will show you some of the painting that will be going on. I'm kind of happy with what's happening with the paint jobs at the moment. They're very, very simple paint jobs. I'm not trying to be too flashy with them. I need to add a bit more onto parts, but they do seem to come up quite nicely with a base coat. And I've got a little bit of a video going on as we are doing them. I think some of the lining and stuff might need to be done a bit more. We could do with maybe some shading and some other bits. But you'll get to see them when they're done. I'm not an amazing painter, but I do have fun doing some of the bits. We have not gone black and pink. We have gone for some other options. I don't feel black belongs on Emperor's Children, especially Noise Marines and stuff. I know it makes a nice contrast to the bright colours, but I think pinks, purples, and then blues and greens doing crazy stuff is more of a thing. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know your suggestions, ideas, stuff that you would do. Things I'm going to need to think about while playing the Emperor's Children into the various dispositions, because I know that's a thing and that's new to me. And if anyone shouts Defiler, I might have to get one. I don't want to run multiple Defilers because that feels awful. But by the same token, it's very pretty. It is very, very pretty. And it is very, very cool. It's like Keeper Secrets. Keeper Secrets are very pretty and very cool. I should probably get one at some point, but yeah, let me know what you think on how you think I should progress this. Maybe it should be more in Infractors. Tormentors, maybe extra Infractors to get in there and really carve things up. Again, I'm not too sure if I want to take multiple of the Lords. I know multiple of the Lords gives me snacker bonuses, but thematically, I'm not sure if I want to have lots of Lords. But let me know what you think. Suggestions and ideas. I've said that a few times now. So I'm gonna crack on and do some of the bits and pieces. But there we go. That's kind of what I've been up to. I've been spraying them and assembling them, building them and spraying them and getting the base coats done. And now I'm playing with these crazy colour ideas and seeing if I can make something that looks pretty cool. We'll see what happens when I finally post the pictures. And I'm going to look at migrating across some of the Heresy videos if I can, if I've still got the recordings from them, because they are older recordings. And if not, you'll no doubt be seeing new Heresy videos in the very near future. Catch you later, guys. Remember, it's not work, it's gaming. Be excellent to each other, and of course, do stop by. And if you want to support me on Ko-fi, that's up and that's running. Okay, bye bye.